What's up, all my investors? It is Shadine. I'm back again with another episode of HINANCE, breaking down the complex financial world for everyday regular people like me and you, so we can make some cheddar, some moolah, some bread, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you pay attention all the way to the end of this video because I'm sharing important information that you need to know, especially if you're trading or even if you're thinking about getting into this market. Let's talk about what economic news you need to be paying attention to this week, as there could be a lot of turbulence in the stock market. Disruptive stocks that should be on your watch list. What is disruptive stocks? And which stocks you should be looking to buy in 2021 and why. This is going to be my take. But first, before we get into any of that, I appreciate the first-time viewers, the last-time viewers, the people that have been here since day one. Love from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Just don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share with your best friend, sister, mother, brother, little friend, little cousin, whoever you can. We all deserve more financial transparency in the world today. With that being said, important economic news this week. Let's just start off with the most important, which is going to be the Georgia Senate runoff happening on Tuesday. If Republicans remain in the seat, there's going to be continuous negotiation and battles for the next 4 years. But if Democrats take over those seats, we may see a lot of changes, my people. We may see a lot of changes, some in taxes, capital gains. You could see cannabis industry wide open for federally. They've been talking about doing that. You could potentially see some student loan forgiveness. So let's pay close attention to that, because that's going to really make a difference as far as things getting passed between the Democrats and the Republicans. The vaccine rollout has been very slow. I think that they're being very moderate as far as as what they're saying. It's been a slow start. They projected to have 20 million vaccines out by this time, and we have only hit a mere, very small 2.8 million. That's like 1 to 2% of what they projected. That is not slow, my people. That is turtle speed. So, let's pay attention to what the plans are ahead. Cases are rising still. Deaths are still rising, sadly, even with all these vaccinations that are out there. But obviously, we all know that the vaccine rollout and process is a major part in getting back to normal life. So that's something you definitely want to pay attention to. We also have some December job reports coming out this week, so pay attention to that, because also another important thing to getting back on the important road and right lane is getting some more jobs back, creating more jobs. We need these things in order to get back to a normal life in a better economy. Lastly, OPEC Plus, I think they call themselves, are going to have a meeting on supply and demand. As we know, oil has been taking a hit, and it doesn't make it any better that a lot of states are now requiring a lot of cars to be sold electric only by like 2035. I think California and Massachusetts are two states that have already took that step and saying, hey, you dealerships better start selling electric vehicle only, because we're not going to accept anything else. So pay attention to that market. There could be plenty of opportunities in the EV side, that is, not the oil. Leave that. That's for the birds. That's in the past. So let's move on to disruptive innovation. If you're looking for opportunities in the stock market, disruptive innovation should be a term that should always cross your mind. Now, what does that mean? How's the simplest way I can break this down? Disruptive innovation is, I guess, a company that brings a better solution, a more efficient solution to what's already on the table. And there's just so many industries that have these disruptive companies, these disruptive structures set in place, and the pandemic has kind of fast-tracked a lot of disruptive innovation. First and foremost, we have to talk about crypto. We have to talk about Bitcoin. They've reached 30K. A lot of analysts are saying 200K, 100K. And I'm not going to lie, even though I made a video last week saying that I'm going to kind of stay away from it, there's a little bit of FOMO in me that's saying, maybe I should put a little bit of my investment money into Bitcoin in hopes of it doubling, maybe tripling, maybe 20% increase, 30% increase. All gains are good gains. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Bitcoin. Do you think it's worth getting into? Are you still worried about it? There's still a lot of things that I don't understand about it, but when big money moves, you got to move like a shark when the sharks start moving. So if the sharks start moving up north, you got to start moving up north with the sharks. You can't stay down south in hopes to gain all the fish that the ones that moved up north are going to eat. You got to move with them. So there's a little bit of FOMO going on, but I'm going to kind of see and do some more research because that's what I always recommend. There's some more disruptive innovation in the car industry. 2 states now have said that they want to have electric cars being sold in their states only by 2035, California, Massachusetts. I can only assume that many more states are going to follow. Obviously, I can't say for sure, but I think it's going to be very hard to see electric vehicle only country, but anything's possible at this point. So I think that there's plenty of opportunity in the EV market. There's definitely plenty of different options, and you're going to start to see like regular car companies like Ford, GM, all those just kind of roll out their own electrical vehicle models of what they kind of already have. So it's going to be interesting to see how that whole thing goes, but I'm obviously investing on the electrical vehicle market side. You got Tesla, you got NIO, you even got Workhorse, and some people still like to dabble in that other one. I'll just say it, Nikola. Some people still like to dabble in a rolling truck, but hey, everybody do your research. That's what I always recommend. Do your research because you don't want to get caught red-handed. There's also disruptive innovation in technology, healthcare, bioscience. There's just so many different avenues. So imply this word into your everyday strategy when you're thinking about stocks to buy or how you're going to sell, or if you should sell. Think about it. Is this company going to make a huge difference in the way of life in the next 5 to 10 years? That's how I'm thinking. I'm long term. But hey, trade as you wish. I always say to my people, trade as you wish. The word of the week is exponential growth. And the definition for that, the technical definition for that, is a specific way that a quantity may increase over time. How can we simplify that? Because that still doesn't say much. Well, maybe I'll put a graph up, but exponential growth is just over time seeing the chart go like this. If it was like this, it wouldn't be exponential growth. That would be some form of decline. If you just see a constant increase over time, not like up, down, up, down, up, down, maybe a little up, down, but a constant over time, you see a constant increase. That is exponential growth. And you want to be invested in companies that have exponential growth. That, today let's say, for example, they're $20 a share, and in 5 years, they're $500 a share or $200 a share, just pure incline. That's what you want to be paying attention to. And like I said, I'm always just sharing words so that we can kind of get in the blood flowing in the mind about the investment world and the financial world, things that you should know, things that you should be having into your strategy. Part of your strategy, your strategy is the most important thing. So you have to be able to say, okay, why did I invest in the stock? What did I look at? What did I misread? What did I not catch that made me take this loss? People take losses and it's like the end of the world, but you have to take your losses and apply strategy to them and figure out where you went wrong. And like I said, exponential growth is something that is very good when it comes to a company, and you're not always going to find it, but you may have to take chances to find it. And that's just part of the game, y'all. That's just part of the game. Now let's talk about stocks to buy in 2021. This is the moment that we've all been waiting for, right? And before I continue, make sure that if you are interested in joining our stocks group chat, to shoot me a DM above. I will send you the details needed to join. It's an ever-growing group of people. We're on a Discord chat, and we're just sharing financial information. We're sharing which stocks we're all looking at. We're sharing all different types of information because our main goal is to build our financial future. With that being said, ARK Innovation, like I feel like I've spoken about them a handful of times. And listen, do your research on ARK Innovation. Do your research on Kathy Woods. She manages that whole system. Do your research on how much return she's been able to give people over the last 5 years. Do your research on which stocks are in this balloon ETF. And I don't say balloon in a bad term, but ARK Innovation is definitely a stock to have, top tier stock to have in your portfolio. I'm not an investing guru. I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my views, but listen, the innovation is that they are invested in, and the results that they've been able to produce has been very, very, very good. I would kind of wait for it to see if a pullback happens. Let's say if you have let's say $600, you got $600 from your stimulus check and you're trying to see where you should put it. I would put maybe 100 to 200 into it. If it pulls back, put another 200 into it. If it pulls back or goes up, maybe throw that other 200 into it, kind of split it up. Maybe you shouldn't be putting all your 600. This is if you're diversified already. If you're just starting out, shoot me a comment below and I'll see if we can get a better plan. Or maybe you could just listen to the other stocks and split it all up. But listen, ARK Innovation is their next, and Kathy Woods says that the next FANG stocks is the genomics, which I don't really understand genomics, but I understand being able to cure diseases, being able to cure blindness in children, infants. I understand, bioscience. Not that I understand it like I'm a professor, but I understand that there's certain things that you can do to genes, and when you get all the sciencey, stuff can be corrected at that level. I think that's pretty simple for me to understand. Although I don't understand which companies are in the lead. It's kind of like the health. We didn't really know who was in the lead with the vaccine. Genomics, I don't really know who's in the lead. But ARK Innovation, they have analysts, they have people that study these companies in the genomics world. And the genomics seem to be, and the way she explains it, but obviously I've done my research and you have to do yours. The way she explains it, this is going to be life-changing. It may be able to cure diabetes. My father has diabetes. I'm scared every day that, it may just do my genes. It may fall in my end. And that's why I try to eat healthy. They're saying it can heal leukemia and other different types of cancers. So with that being said, I'm not going to fight. I guess you could, if you want to take the most risk, you can invest in a specific genomics company, but ARK Invest is already doing most of the work. I'd rather just roll my money into that and let them do work. They also, have Roku, they have Square, they have Invite. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They just sold off all their Slack because Slack was bought by Salesforce. ARK ETF, I think, is just, not even if you're a beginner, I think that if you have money and you want it to just spread a little bit differently, I think ARK ETF should be in your portfolio. That's just my thought. It's in my portfolio. I'm going to continue to, add more shares because over the next 5 to 10 years, I think that this ETF will be the biggest game changer of my life. Ooh, that's a big statement to say, but I really do think, because they're just so spread out. They also have Tesla. I didn't even mention Tesla. They got Spotify, another game changer. There's just so many different great stocks in this ETF that I just think that you need to have it on your watch list. That's just how I feel. Next is going to be Ally Financial. Now, I've mentioned Ally Financial in the past, but the pandemic really pushed the car industry into a different type of realm, a different type of world. They had to go online. People couldn't go to the dealerships. People couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Now people are buying cars online like nothing. They're not even going to the dealership. They're not spending 2 hours at the dealership no more. They're going online, checking out the pictures, checking out videos, setting up a little test drive, and boom, with a few clicks, you can buy a car. A 2-3 hour session at the dealership now turned into maybe a 20-30 minute decision. You're looking at pictures from 100 million different angles. You're looking at videos, 360 views. Technology has pushed us forward. The pandemic has pushed us forward. So what are people going to do? Inventory is low, so they say. Obviously, because a lot of factories were down. But because of all this, you spur up companies like Carvana, which get funding from an Ally Financial. A lot more people move to the suburbs. They need to buy more cars, so they need more funding. All these things make a difference. And like I said, the bacon industry has been getting hit for so long because everybody is still scared. I mean, some people are still scared that, there's going to be some form of collapse. It's very hard to tell for me at this point. I don't have any inside information, so I don't know. It's really a 50-50. But I think Ally Financial is definitely a stock you want to have on your watch list because more people driving on the road, more people are going to need funding. If there's supply, there's demand. If there's demand, get some supply, you have a very good market. Starbucks is the only coffee company you can really buy that has a brand name, and it makes me wonder, we lost Dunkin' Donuts to high up company, and that brought everybody's price point up to 106. Luckin got ditched out the window last year, this year when they were lying on their financials. So it makes me wonder, every time I drive by a Starbucks, I always see a line. Every time I go into Starbucks, I gotta wait a handful of time. The service is good. Coffee, people seem to really love it. And, I think that with Dunkin' Donuts going to a big chain company, because the company that bought Dunkin' Donuts owns other chains, I just think that it kind of hurts the value of just the products. And hopefully it doesn't, because I'm a New England guy and I love Dunkin' Donuts, but it's just Dunkin' is not the same. Obviously, they're going to try to find ways to cut costs. When you're that big of a company, you're trying to find ways to cut costs, trying to do things more efficient, and sometimes that hurts taste. I think Starbucks, unless we get some new company that rises from the gutter, I think Starbucks may be something you want to be looking at because people have not let up on Starbucks. Some people spend $500 a month on Starbucks. Some maybe more. So make sure you do your research on Starbucks. I think that this could be, I don't want to say it's going to be a sleeper, but it could be something that can bring some value in a chaotic, volatile, turbulent stock market that we may be seeing in the next month or so. Well, within this next month or so. My last two companies, I'm going to be very quick. Vail, I've already spoken on them very much. So do your research on them. But obviously with this ever-changing EV market that the government wants to grow, obviously the Democrats want to grow the EV market. Vail, if they continue to supply nickel to other companies that are trying to figure out the Tesla juice, the Tesla secrets, may be a good company to invest in, as well as IRobot, y'all. With technology changing, with pandemic changing, and the world changing, obviously robotics it's coming. That's what the government wants. That's what they're pushing for. I think that's why a lot of things are happening, because the government needs robotics to take over certain, not that they need, but it's more efficient, I guess, for robotics to take over certain things. And IRobot is a company that, they got the little robot vacuum that y'all see in the little commercials. Y'all may have seen at some people's house. I don't know if you got rich friends or something like that, or well-off friends. I don't know. My mom actually wanted to buy one of those things, and I told her, your house ain't that big. Like, it ain't that big for you to need a robot to clean your house. Like, we gotta be realistic here. I know it's cool to have a robot vacuum running around, but if your house ain't big, you don't really need it. But I think that this company could be very beneficial. I'm pretty sure that they've had government contracts before, and I think that their products are only going to continue to grow. They are IRobot, and they're a Massachusetts-based company, which shout out to my people in Massachusetts. Those are my people. So make sure you check out IRobot. There's plenty of more stocks that I want to talk about, but let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you are interested in me doing a video on or speaking on. I'd love to share my thoughts. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share with your best friends, aunts, uncles, and sisters. I appreciate once again and again and again. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Instagram at ShPena.